Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. Today we'll be looking at the reboot of the DC Cinematic Universe with 2025 Superman. Superman, after suffering his first defeat, has his foundation shaken over and over. From finding out terrible truths about his heritage, to the world itself turning against him, all while the evil genius Lex Luthor tries to destroy the world. Clark must truly find a way to go beyond his limitations and fight to save everyone, and hopefully save himself in the process. This movie was everything I wanted in a comic book superhero movie. I loved the action, the comedy was well paced, well written, the dialogue felt genuine, the acting was phenomenal. It was weird that despite the fact that there's been so many superhero movies, there's been tons from Marvel, DC, even the Batman movies, which I love, don't capture the feel of seeing a comic book come to life. But this movie, it does. It feels genuine. It feels like a true love for the comics first and turned into a feature film. I haven't really felt like this since the very first time I saw Spider-Man. And that's kind of a special feeling you can't really explain unless you have, experienced that feeling before. David Cornsweet is, without a doubt, the most human version of Superman. You feel a connection to him. From the opening of the movie, there's literally 3 sentences that set the foundation of the new DC universe. And that's all you need. No longer are we in uncharted waters with comic book movies, but James Gunn understood that you should not have to have hours upon hours upon hours upon hours worth of material to watch to see a movie. That's ridiculous. And unfortunately, that's what the Marvel Universe has become. And I'm not saying that in a way to disregard the fandom of Marvel. I'm saying that from a practical point of view for an average movie-going audience who don't want to invest that much time. The chemistry between Lois and Clark and his parents, it felt genuine. It felt these people are why Clark is the way he is. And a lot of the times, especially with Man of Steel, one of my biggest issues was how badly they screwed up Superman in the sense of not understanding Clark, not understanding Ma and Pa Kent. Despite that really interesting dialogue from Kill Bill, Superman isn't just some alien. In reality, he's more human than most people. He understands the capacity of what it takes to be a human. The weakness that people perceive him as is something that he can never really understand or feel, but he tries, and that's the whole point. There's a great dialogue about that in the end of the movie, but it's true. He understands what it means to be human. Nicholas Hoult was the one part of the movie I was really, really nervous about. Despite there being different versions of Lex Luthor, to date, there's only really ever been one good film version, and that's the Gene Hackman version. Although that was kind of more Silver Agey. But no one's understood the dark, bitter hatred that Lex has for Superman in a physical feature film. Don't even get me started on Jesse Eisenberg's dumpster fire performance. Holt, wow, he knocked it so out of the park. And the funny thing was, he even said that he was inspired and very much felt like he wanted to be in the same vein as my personal favorite Lex, Michael Rosenbaum, who played him in Smallville. It's cool because both him and David Cornsweet both said they took inspiration from Smallville. They love that series so much that they were inspired by the performances of Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum. And you could see that on the screen. There's tons of fun little things that are great for, people that love comic book movies, and there's also enough just to keep you enticed and make you interested enough to kind of do the research. So nice to see Wendell Pierce playing Perry White. I was kind of sick of seeing the gruff, angry editor of a newspaper, but he pulls it off really, really well. The only kind of issue I had was Skylar Gisondo as Jimmy Olsen was kind of fine, I guess. It feels like they followed a little more on the Superman animated series, which, to be honest, this kind of feels like a big feature version of the Superman animated series. So for that reason, I absolutely loved it too. It's so cool to see Adi Gathegi get redeemed from his performance in X-Men First Class, because everyone that was a fan of the X-Men series who saw Darwin, we were expecting like a big fight and interesting thing with his character because he's such a powerful character in the X-Men universe, only to be basically a wet fart. But for him to play this such a cool, badass character of Mr. Terrific, who is an underrated character, it was so cool. And of course, the great Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner fantastically as the douchiest Green Lantern of all. And Isabella Merced, I loved her. She felt like Justice League cartoon Hawkgirl, specifically in season 1. Just in the sense of like, she's just like, really? And I loved it. There's a lot about this movie that's so amazing. Just the message that is so powerful, and the writing, and of course James Gunn's directing and script. It felt so good to see this movie, and it was exactly what I was expecting in a superhero movie, and I got exactly what I wanted and more. It felt so much like an actual comic book, and I absolutely loved it for it, and I cannot recommend it enough. I cannot recommend seeing it again and again, and I definitely will put it on my collection. I can't praise this movie enough. I give Superman 2025 5 out of 5. Have you seen Superman? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you next time.